Ladies and gentlemen, let's Red Game Insider.com video. Let us discuss AMD's GCN update. This is rumours. The Iceland, Tonga and Hawaii XTX, as well as what features we'll be seeing, rumoured features in AMD's new GCN architecture. Alongside that, we'll be discussing their APUs, with reports going about that their Carrizo, that's C-A-R-R-I-Z-O, APUs will be getting stacked on-die memory, so we'll discuss that in just a moment. So first, let's discuss the GPU side of things, since why the heck not. So this, in some cases, are going to be basically going against the Maxwell architecture. Obviously, I just reported rumours regarding Titan 2 cores, which is supposedly going to have a ridiculous amount of CUDA cores. Of course, a lot of that is not confirmed yet, but it would appear. Anyway, let's start with Iceland. So this is going to be like the Hawaii successor, but it's apparently going to be kind of a mid-class processor, from what we understand anyway. It's going to start out life, apparently, as like a mobile GPU, but it will eventually come into a desktop variant. So this is going to mean, like, for example, the Cape Verde is basically going to be going bye-bye, which means that the core that originated with graphics cards such as the AMD Radeon 7770 and so on is going to be going bye-bye. Then you've got Tonga, which is apparently a Tahiti core, but the difference is going to have a 256-bit memory bus interface. Apparently this is going to be launched as a new SKU. It's not going to be necessarily a replacement. We don't really know what's going to happen. Supposedly, it will be on the market until AMD eventually introduces its Radeon 300 series, which of course will be replacing those cards that are out currently, like say the 280, the 290s and so on. Then we've got the Hawaii XTX. So, supposedly this will be the fastest AMD SKU for this year. And what exactly is it going to be? Well, originally some people assumed it was going to have 3072 cores, but that appears not to be true. Indeed, supposedly it's indeed just going to be a higher clocked Hawaii XT, but that's not confirmed yet. From what we've gathered, however, that seems to be the way things are going. What we do know is that there are going to be architectural improvements coming to the GCN architecture. We're not exactly sure which of these cards are going to have it. For example, is the Hawaii going to have it? Unknown. What we do know is you've got UAV ordering, which is Unordered Access View Ordering. This basically means that it's very difficult for each frame to have pixels in exactly the same order. This really, really impacts things that have a lot of fine details. For example, grass textures, grass foliage, chain link fences is a pretty classical example. That type of thing, particularly when it's moving in quite a fast motion. So that means you can get loss of detail. And particularly when you start to add transparency or anti-aliasing, that type of thing, and transparencies from shadows, it can be a little bit of a problem. And so this UAV ordering is going to basically help with that. And there's also what's known as fast conservative rasterization. At the moment, it exists currently already. It's not anything particularly new, but the current implementation is fairly slow. And so what this should happen is that it's going to make things a lot faster, which theoretically should mean that, for example, TressFX is going to be a lot quicker. Now, obviously, that's unknown. It's not confirmed yet. So let's move things over to the APU side. So AMD's HSA has definitely been in full force, and they are pushing this quite substantially. So what we've got is a couple of sources that have recently started to point out that AMD may well be going with stacked on-die memory. Now, we don't know much about this, apart from it's going to be somewhere between 128 and 256 megabytes of memory. And in theory, at least, and once again, this is only rumor, it will be better performance in terms of a cost performance ratio than a higher amount of a level 3 cache. Supposedly this will also allow DDR3 to be in the system and utilized rather than, say, more expensive DDR4. The reason a lot of integrated systems are moving to DDR4, want to move to DDR4, is because of the extra memory bandwidth. DDR3 just doesn't have enough memory bandwidth. According to this report, the Carrizo, which is the APU that we're referring to here, is going to still be fabricated on 28nm. But the stacked DRAM is going to be fabricated supposedly on 20nm. So in other words, they're going to be two separate little bits here. We're not exactly sure, but from what we can tell, the FCH will also be on die. But once again, a lot of this, you know, you can take the speculation as you find it, because it seems to be a bit up in the air. So obviously there's a lot of performance gain for this, and really good for integrated systems. For those of us who are avid gamers, it's probably not going to be massive news. We're probably still going to want to keep to our high-end, you know, NVIDIA cards or AMD cards. On the other hand, for those of us who just want like a cheap system, like a multimedia system or like a cheap laptop, that type of thing to carry around, it's definitely available and a pretty cool little thing. Anyway guys, I think that's just about it for this video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.